Hello everyone, this is Venugopal. Today we are going to learn array in Java. So first of all, we'll like to understand what exactly mean by array. Let me increase the font. Array. You might be learning in your C or C++. Array means basically it is a collection of similar type of elements. This is what the definition you have learned either in C, C++, or any of the basic languages. So it's true that it is a collection of similar type of elements. But in Java, everything is an object. So we can say that Java is an array, Java is an object which contains elements of similar type. Basically, when we are talking about Java, the Java is index-based data structure. Java is it is indexed based data structure. Now, what exactly mean by indexed data structure? So to understand that, for example, if you have an array like this, let me select, okay. Now, suppose we have an elements 1, 2, 3, and 4. So whenever you're going to store the elements will be stored in the form of indexed. That is, the first element will be stored in the 0th indexed. The next element will store in 1 and so on. So Java basically it is a indexed based data structure. So that is the reason why the first element will be stored in the 0 and continuous memory location. So it will store the elements in a contiguous memory location. That means continuous memory locations. One more thing, the Java array or any of the array is of fixed length. Fixed length means what? We cannot change the length. Once you are defining the array, you cannot allow to change the size of the array. That is what you can say one of the limitations of the array also. It's a limitation that once you have declared the array, you cannot change the size of that particular array. The advantage is what? It is used for code optimization. Advantages are used for what? It's a code optimization. That means what? You can retrieve or access, you can retrieve or sort, you can say that you can sort the data efficiently. This is what the advantages of your array. This is what advantage of array. You can access, even you can access randomly also. Retrieve spelling is missing. Okay, so what is the advantage which is used for the code optimization? You can retrieve or sort the array efficiently. One more advantage is what? Random access. With the help of the index value, with the help of what? Index value, you can access randomly any of the data of your array. This is what the benefit of the array. When we are talking about the arrays, basically the arrays are two types. One is one-dimensional array or single-dimensional array. And the second one is multi-dimensional array. Dimensional array. So in this lecture, we will see, we'll focus on the one-dimensional array. So whenever I'm talking about array, there must be a a basic syntax to declare your arrays first. So we'll see how we are going to declare and use this particular array. So there are number of ways to declare the one-dimensional array. So declaration syntax of array. The first method is what? We need to create the data. We need to mention the data type. Which data type array you want to create? For example, I am creating here array. ARR is my the name of the array. You can say that's a name, or I'll type like a reference name or identifier, right? This is one syntax. Or you can declare like this also, data type. Here I've given the space, right? You can directly give here also double square brackets, and then you mention here the identifier. Or you can write like this also, data type, right? You can write like your identifier first, then the square brackets. All definitions are valid. Or so this is what this is about, the declaration of the array. This step is belongs to what? Declaration of array. Then we'll come to know about the instantiation of the array. Instantiation of array. Instantiation of array means what? Giving the values, right? Or giving the size and values to the array. How you're going to do that? By using this. Once you have declared, so we'll take, for example, here identifier, I'm taking name as a ARR equals to, suppose here I'll create one more array like int. Declaration I'll take int, suppose I've declared square brackets and ARR. Declaration we have already seen in the left hand side. Okay, this is what? Declaration. Okay, so and this step is what? For instantiations. ARR equals to, will take the new to allocate the memory for that particular variable. Then your data type. Okay, this is what I'm telling, the syntax, and then the size of the array. Size of the array. This process is called as instantiation of array. So for example, we can declare instantiate like ARR equals to new. Suppose I have taken the array's data type as a integer, and suppose 5 is my location. Okay, the moment when you will declare like this, what happened in the memory? It will create 5 locations, right? And initially these locations will occupy by default the default values. That integer default value is 0. And the name of the array is what? The name of the array here, that is ARR. This is my name of the array. So first step is what? First step we have declared, that is the declaration of the array. This is the declaration of the array, that is syntax of array. Declaration of the, this is the first step. And the second step is what? Instantiation of the array. That means what? Giving a memory allocation, right, to that particular declared array. And the last step is what? It is about the initialization of the array. Initialization of array. That means giving the value exactly onto that particular locations. For example, if I'll give value like ARR, index value is 0. As I told, the index value will be start with a 0 location. 10 ARR of 1 equals to 20, and so on. What happened? ARR of 0, it will store the number 10 in this particular memory locations. So if I'll write like this, once you have initialized this one, then the value will be changed and the value will be stored like 10, 20, 30, and so on. So this is what all about how to, what is exactly array, that we have seen the definition of the array, right? In Java, everything is considered as an object. So that is the reason why you can say array is an object. which contains elements of similar data type. It is an indexed based data structure. That means you can access with the help of indexed values 0, 1 and so on. Once you have declared this array, you cannot able to change the size of the array. So these arrays are fixed length. These are used, why arrays are used? Because these are used for code optimization. That means you can retrieve, sort your data efficiently. With the help of index value, you can randomly access any of the index value. So this is what the advantages of array. Now quickly we will see a practical example to demonstrate this basic concept. So for that, I'll use here the Eclipse editor. You can use any of the editors like Notepad, Notepad++, Edit Plus. And initially, whenever you launch this Eclipse, it will ask for the workspace. I'll click on this and I'll select some workspace like YouTube, Core Java. Okay, I'll select this folder. I want to store all the programs here and I launch this Eclipse. It will take some time. Arrays are very important concepts in Java. It's open with some of the basic help menu. Let's quickly we'll go for the program. You can see my installation of Eclipse video. It is already uploaded. You can go and explore this all. I've explained all the tools, menus of this Eclipse editor. So here I'm going to quickly, I'll go and create one project. My project name is, first of all, I'll select a Java project. Sorry. Just a minute. I'll open here, file, new. I'll change this actually, the perspective. I'll select the Java perspective first. You can change from here, right hand corner. You can see here open perspective, right? Now it's Java. Initially it was for advanced Java. So here I'm going to create one project, Java. Project name is, for example, like any name you can give. I'll give array programs. Click on finish. Here my project is created. Inside this, under this SRC folder, I create one package. My package name is array programs. Any name you can give. Now inside this com.array, I'll create one class. As you know that in Java, everything will be created inside the class only. So here I'll take the name of the class like demo array. I'll include the public static main function here, method. Click on that. You'll get the basic structure. Right? The font is very small, so I'll increase the font from Windows, Preferences, click on Font, Colors and Fonts, then Basic. Text, I'll increase like it's for 16, bold, italic, and okay, apply. Hope this you're able to see clearly. Now let us declare the first, how to declare the array. The first step that we will see, already we have seen in the theory part, right? How to declare this array, data type, square brackets, and identifier. So we'll declare one array. My array name is int. This is a data type, square brackets, and my name of the array is ARR. You can do like that. After this is the declaration part. Now I am giving the instantiation, means allocating the memory for this array. So with the help of new keyword, data type, and suppose I'm giving the size as 5. And after that, we will be initializing the array. So how to initialize array of 0? As we have discussed, the index value will be always start with the 0 location. Control C, Control V, Control V, and I'll change some values. For example, 1, 2, because 5 elements are there. I'm inserting 5 elements. So this index will be 3 and this will be 4. So 0 to 4 means 5 elements. So this is 20, 30, 40, and 50. So first step, this is what? This is called as declaring array. This is called as instantiation of array. That means giving a memory to that particular array. And this is called initialization. Initialization of array. There are 3 steps involved to use these arrays. Okay, so I've done with that. Now we will like to print this all elements. So if we want to print the first technique, there are 2-3 approaches. You can use that. For example, if I want to print the first element, so go with the index wise, that is a of 0. That means it's going to print what? The first element of the array. Then Control V, Control V, and Control V. So this would be 1. Actually, this process is tedious. It's not a good approach, but we just for the demo purpose, I'm showing how to print the array elements. So once you have done with this, okay, right click on this, how to execute the program in Eclipse. You just click on the run as and run as Java application, or else you can directly click on this run button also. Okay, so if I'll click on the run button, it's asking for some basic things. Always proceed. Exception resolved. What happened? Cannot be resolved a variable. Oh, sorry. Extremely sorry. I've declared the variable name as array and I've used a here. Okay, fine. That is the reason why it is telling the variable is not defined. It's not resolved a variable because we are using a different variables. It's my bad. Okay, so you can observe here at the bottom line in the console screen, all the elements, this 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 are printed. But this is not a printing of array by using this technique. Printing of array elements by using SOP, that is system.out.println, and one by one, it's not a good practice actually. So what is the next way? The next way is by using for loop, right? Because repeating the same process again and again. So better to declare inside the for loop. So how to declare that? Very simple. You know the syntax. For will take one value, index value, that is int I, then I less than either, if you know the elements, number of elements, that is 5. So better to write here like 5, or else you can directly write like arr dot one property length. Length is a property of the array which will give the size of the array by default. Okay, and then increment value, that is I plus plus, and here we'll take only one SOP, that is system dot out dot println, and he'll have print a of only this I value, that's index. Clear? This is one more approach, right? If I'll execute this, right click on this, run as Java application. Oh, sorry, again I have taken, I don't know why I'm taking this always A. Okay, so if I'll click on this Java application, what happened now? The local variable I may not been initialized. I equal to, sorry, it should start from 0, obviously. Run as Java application. You were getting the values from 10, 20, 30, 50, again 10, 20, 30, and 40, 50. 2 times we are printing this. Okay, so I'll just shift this console here so that you can find the output clearly. See, first time by this SOP statements 5 times, and second time by using the for loop statements. Okay, I think this would be very easy. Okay, if your array size is increases, you just have to change the length only. It will automatically calculate. One more approach to print this array is by using for each loop. Now, how to use this for each loop? It's very simple. By using for, inside this, you just place the colon. Right hand side, you have to use the array reference variable. What is my array reference variable here? ARR. Okay, so right hand side will use like ARR, and left hand side we have to use what data type, what type of elements it is storing, int, and you just take one variable. Okay, and inside this, I'll just print sys out, and I'll print like this variable, that is 8. For each loop, how it is going to be executed, it will print and that will increment for the next value automatically. Okay, same line of code, only one line. It would be better, I think. See, it's a very short code. If I click on this, if I'll execute, see, 3 times the data is printed now. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. This is because of these 5 lines. Then 20, 30, 40, 50 for this for loop, and this is for each loop. So there are 3 approaches to print the data of the array. I think either you can go for the for loop or you can go for the for each loop. I think the for each loop would be the easier one if you compare with the for loop. I definitely don't go with the this kind of statements. I just showed how to print the data elements. For example, if you're not initializing this array, I just comment this multi-line comment. By using multi-line comment, I have commented this portion. I have not initialized, but still I want to print this all values 3 times. Okay, so just check what the output we are going to get. Click on this, you will get all the values as 0, because by default the integer value, it is 0, right? If you declare any other data type value, that also, for example, if I'll take one boolean array, boolean, for example, b, right? One more thing before that, I just tell you the second approach how to use this array. That is syntax I'll write here. Second approach to declare, and in a one line you can declare as well as you can initialize as well as you can instantiate. How to do that? The syntax is int, or else I can take like data type first, then reference variable, or you can say the identifier equals to new, then you can take data type again and the size. This is the syntax, right? The 3 things I'm doing in a one line, right? What we have done here, we have taken 3 different steps, right? But here we are taking in a one step, we are doing all the 3 things: declaration, instantiation, and initialization, right? Initialization means what? You directly you can initialize the values also. For example, in place of this, if I'll write like this also, that is valid 10, 20, 30. This is declaration, instantiation, as well as initialization. Okay, so in similar context, what I'll do, I'll declare one more array, which is of type boolean b. Let me give like this new, then boolean data type, and suppose 3 variables I want to, 3 elements I want to store. And suppose if I'll delete this one, or else after this I'll print like by using the for loop only, I'll print all the Boolean values. Right now I have not initialized. Let me check what default values it is going to print. So you know that for each loop, how to do that? Colon, right hand side, the reference variable. That is, for example, if I'll take like bool, here I'll write bool in the right hand side. Left hand side will be the data type. What is that? Boolean B, and inside that I want to print. So, sorry, this out, and I'll print a B. Now you can observe at the last lines of this console, you will get default values of Boolean array. You can see this, it's printing all the default values of Boolean array. You can take a float array, you can take a string array, you can take a double array, right? You can take even user defined arrays also, like classes and objects, right? I hope you are getting. So this is what the basic things, how to declare what is array. We have seen basically what is array. Then we have seen what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of your array, right? Then we have seen how many types of array. Here we have covered one-dimensional array, right? In the next coming lecture, we'll cover the multi-dimensional array. Then we have seen the syntaxes of how to declare an array. So there are three steps. One is, sorry, what happened? There are three steps. One is declaration, second is initialize instantiations, and the third one is initialization, right? That we can do in a single line also, like this. Here declaration, right? Initialize instantiation will be done automatically. Whatever the elements are there in the right hand, that will be taken with the this particular reference variable. And we have seen one practical example also to demonstrate this. There is not one more thing. It's not mandatory that if you are declaring initializing, for example, in the first line, right? I've given 3 values only, and the rest of the values I'm not assigning, but still I'm printing. So now I hope you are getting what is the expected output for this. If I'll execute, whatever the values we have assigned, that will be print, and the rest of the values will be default values. So I hope you have I have cleared what is the array, how to declare, and the rest of the things. The coming programs related with the multidimensional array and the other string arrays, that we will see in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye.